snap.
And we are live on draft night. I'm Steve Metrics. That's your boy.
DJ Triggs.
Uh-oh. You got frozen.
Maybe. Did I get frozen or did you get frozen?
And together, we are No Debate Sports. Yeah, I think we both got frozen. But we thawed out, and we're here. And that's No Debate.
I mean, slightly. We're on draft night.
A little bit.
Yeah. We're close to
Yeah,
draft night.
it's a little drafty. Yeah, I think my window's got a little bit of a crack in it. So, yeah, it's a little drafty.
That's probably what it is. The pick is already in. This is wild.
Yeah, I saw them on the phone. I think I would bet the farm that it is Cam Ward. By far.
I hear he's compared to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just saw that. I got ESPN playing on the background here, and I did see some Mahomes stuff, but I thought they were talking Shedeur Sanders. Maybe it was Mahomes. The one name that I've heard in the past, maybe this is because they're trying to find the second coming. The comparison I'm hearing is Steve McNair.
Oh, that's just like, they're just setting us up. I love that. You know what's funny? So we should pull back the curtain just a little bit. Like, you're in an undisclosed location in the middle of the north, and I am actually, believe it or not, I am actually in Green Bay.
Oh dang!
Yeah, I should have. I was gonna show up at the draft. Got a little bananas throughout the day. But I am like almost certain I'll be there on Saturday.
Oh, okay. So the day 3 action. Nice. So
look at that. It happened. Oh,
it happened. That's no debate. Lock it in. Send it in. I would say the biggest thing take away from this is bye Will Levis. I was hearing Will Levis was basically a bust out of the gate. Like, don't even draft the guy. And wasn't he a rookie last season, or is he like 2 years into the league now? I don't know.
Remember, we liked Will Levis. Everyone liked Will Levis for like 4 weeks.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, he had the banana game against the Atlanta Falcons, but beyond that, a lot of disappointment and a lot of inconsistency, really. In the pocket, and they were showing that kind of stuff when he was at I'm pretty sure Levis is from North Carolina, if I recall, and they were showing that when he was a quarterback back in college. Same kind of stuff back then is what's going on with Tennessee. And Bill Callahan, I mean, he's got to make himself known that he needs his guy going forward, because like we said, there's basically a 3-year clock for every coach until they get fired. He burned year 1. Now he's got 2 years left. At least he can go for the next 2 seasons for sure with Cam Ward.
So I just made my face. Did you hear that Cleveland just traded it to Jacksonville?
Yeah, I'm seeing Jacksonville Jaguar logo on the clock with 6 minutes left.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out. Where are we in this?
We are round 2.
What?
Or sorry, we are pick 2. It kind of feels like round 2 because you're like, where in the world did Jacksonville come from? But yeah, looks like Jacksonville and Shaka or Shamir Khan. What a suit! That is a cool look. If you get a chance to see this guy, that guy looks awesome.
I did.
Yeah, pretty cool. I'll tell you what though, Jacksonville is trash, like complete trash across the board. I'm shocked that they would actually trade this far up to make a move.
Maybe to get a defensive end, a pass rusher, or maybe to get Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
But Why wouldn't Cleveland want that kid though?
What did Cleveland get in return? That I don't know.
I'm literally trying to find it, and I'm like, I didn't hear it, so I'm kind of like, what the heck did I just see? Like, this is bananas. Okay, here it is. So Browns are trading the number 2 overall, a 4th round, and a 6th round to the Jaguars for the 5th overall, a 2nd round, a 4th round, and a 1st round next year.
Oh yeah, Cleveland got away with bananas on this.
Yeah,
pure bananas. The only thing to me that makes this pick worth it is if Jacksonville drafts I'm blanking on the name, but the edge rusher from Penn State.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can make acceptable on this. But giving up a first round pick is massive.
It's almost nuts.
Like Cleveland is running around. I mean, they're going to be running circles around Jacksonville for the next 2 years or the next season after this with this deal. And not only that, you and I pointed out too that Cleveland is basically a borderline playoff team, I think, going into this season.
Yeah. Especially on what? Oh, man. Like, just showing it is kind of like nuts.
Huh.
Shefty is saying that they've been working on it for 2 weeks, so it's a little weird, man. Like, wow. I mean, you've got Abdul Carter there from Penn State. You got Mason Graham there from Michigan. I like Starks, the safety out of Georgia, can move all over the field. Like, wow. Might as well grab Ashton Genty while you're at it.
Yeah.
That's me looking fun. Man, oh man. I mean, if he's going back to Jacksonville, like that's kind of nuts.
Yeah, that is a little bit different there. I don't think it's Travis Hunter. No, I think it has to be Abdul Carter.
They're all very.
But I'll be honest. I mean, they are, but so are like when you see the rooms of the LA Chargers and the New York Giants on draft day. And what do all three of these organizations have in common? They're trash. They're trash. I mean, like, Amar Khan, like, does he really care about the Jaguars? Maybe, but he really makes his bank on Manchester City over in London in the English Premier League. That's where he makes his real bank.
Not to give a shot, but I don't think his son makes very much money on wrestling.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's my face for wrestling fans, if anyone's watching.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie, it was great to see that Lil Wayne was in Green Bay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I'll be honest, the whole intro with Lil Wayne, Clay Matthews, James Jones, Amon Green, Mason Crosby. I drove that guy's. He literally looks identical to when I drove him like 8 years ago. Pretty cool. And even too, the national anthem was really cool. Having the guy playing the guitar in the middle of the crowd, that was cool, man. Super cool. Oh, and that's Reggie White's son. I drove him as well. Yeah, I drove him and his mother. Yeah, I drove both those guys in Milwaukee. No, he didn't play football, or I don't think he really. Oh
Look
wait,
at
never
the
mind.
size of
That's
that
Eric
guy.
Armstead. They look
Yeah,
identical though.
yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah,
So it's weird, man. Look at all that.
it's pretty cool. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie,
it's a nice crowd. I mean, I don't think it's all big on numbers with what's going on there, but it's got really good quality,
dude.
and I think that's what Green Bay is showing.
It's shut down the whole city.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Like that like I would say like 10-mile radius shut down.
Nice.
Okay.
Yikes. I'll be honest. For what they just dealt to move up, I think this is awful. I think this is Jalen Ramsey 2.0. And how did Jalen Ramsey 1.0 work out? Not great. I think this is a complete waste of a pick. If you're moving that far up, get the best player available. The best player available clearly is Abdul Carter.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a bad pick. And the other thing too with Travis Hunter is like you played against a bunch of nobody schools, except for Oregon, which he got smoked. Like Bo Nix cut them to pieces, and then the other play somewhat credible game is Brigham Young, and that's not a good looking game either. I don't know. I just feel this stuff with these Colorado guys is way overhyped. It's just not legit competition they played.
At this point, I'm not sure yet. Past my bedtime. No, I'm just kidding. Like it's crazy to think like he actually looks really small.
Yeah, I heard someone say he's like 6 foot something, but I don't believe it. But I mean, the thing is too, like when you look at corners, like let's be honest, like he's truly not a wide receiver. He's a corner. You're playing wide receiver because you play for a mid major or a no major when you're at Jackson State. So like it's cool and all, and obviously one of either him or Shadur was going to turn into this kind of player because that's what Dion was. So I get it. But the thing is, like when you go pro, you're going to be playing corner, and it just is what it is. He will be playing corner. But I wouldn't say that it's not a major knock against him that he is at a mid-major, because Travis Hunter, I mean, if we look at corners recently who have had good success in the NFL and where they're from, CJ Gardner-Johnson just won a Super Bowl his rookie season with Philadelphia. He's the stud corner from Toledo, had a massive performance at the combine. I think the guy ran like a 4.3 or 4.4 at the combine last year, so that's pretty dope. And then 2 years ago, we go to Cincinnati and obviously Sauce Gardner. So you can really land these like big name corners from really smaller schools and have success with them.
Man, I think he's going to be a solid player. I don't know if he'll be full time both ways.
No way. It's too hard. The NFL is a beast.
Right. And I mean, that Heisman Trophy means something, you know. A lot of the recent Heisman Trophy winners have been pretty solid in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just think when you look at the ability to bust, the fact too that you have just like a monster of Abdul Carter sitting there, and then to trade and lose equity, that's a bad look.
The trade is what, but at the same time, it's always said if you want a guy, you trade up and you get him, you know. And as a Packer fan, we've missed out on a lot of guys because we traded up one spot too late, or not at all.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, if you're looking at just the Heisman Trophy, the last 5 Heisman Trophy winners, you're looking at Travis Hunter, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Devontae Smith, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Lamar, Henry. The last bust was 2014, 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
That was Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, so, I mean, I remember back then hearing some stuff, and I kind of was thinking it, but I didn't really feel it. I remember people back then saying that there's a high possibility that both Mariota and Winston would bust. And those people were right.
Yeah. But the Heisman's. If you get rid of Mariota, Winston, and Manziel, before that you had Robert Griffin, Cam Newton, Mark Ingram. You had some dudes. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Now, don't get me started on Troy Smith or Tim Tebow, but still.
Right. Yeah.
Wow, these picks are going pretty quick.
There we go. Now that's an excellent pick. And the thing is, too, I mean, I heard some discussions today about dealing Kayvon Thibodeau. There's talks about that. I don't know. Something to me about Thibodeau did seem a little weird when he did get drafted a few years ago. Something about the guy to me just looked like he's a lot older than what he really is. But if I could put Abdul Carter on one side and Thibodeau on the other, I think that's the recipe for success for that defensive line. Not to say that this team will be a success, but I would like to see Abdul Carter and Thibodeau do some damage.
Right. Now with New England coming up, what do we think New England needs?
New England has a solid defense. I'd say probably offensive line, to be honest. If you have a solid defense, you have the future at quarterback, you'll figure out some stuff wide receiver wise. Tight end actually could be pretty interesting for New England. I could see a tight end play here. If I'm New England, I try to get either. Yes. The Michigan one is pretty good looking too. I saw some tape on him earlier today. And that was pretty cool.
Which is a cool name.
That guy looks like. Yep.
Wow. That guy he was nuts. Sometimes you got to figure out where they bring these people from.
Right.
But do you go with Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper? Or do you bring in a tight end?
I mean, if that's the case, then I would probably go offensive line.
No,
it's either.
Do you bring in Malachi Starks or Will Johnson and pair them with Jabril Peppers?
Oh, okay, maybe.
Because their linebacking core, and I think their defensive backs need a little bit of help.
Yeah.
And I don't think linebackers high enough on the board. To be honest, the Giants or the New England probably missed out on that Cleveland pick because, man, if they could have picked up that many picks, it might have worked out. But right now, I think New England needs to add more depth. Their team just isn't. I mean, they need receivers. They need linemen. Yeah. They need both sides of the
running back.
Yeah, linebackers.
Yeah.
It's
you're gonna have to work on that in later rounds. You're not gonna knock that out of the park now. you got to know, like, okay, where can I get that expected value deeper in the draft? And you will get that deeper in the draft. But
Right.
to begin with, you are going to have to get this value from the first round as much as you can. And you're going to get probably the best value on that out of the gate with either tight end or offensive line, I think. And think about this too, like how is that going to be built? That's going to be getting built. We know Mike Vrabel is there. He will have some input on it. But really the guy who oh man, see that Shedeur Sanders green room is looking a little sketch. That's bait.
Whoa.
Just saying.
Unless he's down there talking to Travis Hunter and chilling. You know?
It looks cool though. I like that. Yeah. So it does make me my gut is just go off script. I do think Shedeur Sanders does get picked by either New Orleans, the Raiders, or the Steelers within the top 10. And the Steelers aren't in the top 10. They're going to pull some kind of wheel and deal to get in. I think that's going to be the case. I mean, am I a little concerned about am I a little bit concerned with the value of competition? Yes. But the fact is, I mean, he still has some really good looking plays about him. He has good eyesight downfield. You watch him play, he does have that mindset of his father. So it's something that I'd be willing to take a chance on, but it's not something that I would just guarantee is successful. I think a team like my Raiders could make that successful because, you have him sitting behind Geno Smith. So, like, that's where I see the real success coming from.
No, if you're New England right now, so this is kind of one of those I've been thinking about. Do you reach a little bit and go get Ted McMillan from Arizona, right? Do you reach a little bit and go for one of these edge rushers a little early? Do you look at a team like Carolina or New Orleans or even Pittsburgh and say, hey, can we get your first round pick now and maybe a first round later or another second some other time and try to get another pick out of someone?
Dude, I do like the Arizona receiver play, though.
Cleveland now has 2 of the first 4 second-round picks.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I know people wanted to, like, bash their GM for everything from, like, the Deshaun Watson stuff to just kind of how the team has unraveled over the last 2 years. But, man, I've seen GM interviewed. He's a really sharp guy, man. Like, I really kid you not. Like, I really think they have a good GM. Is he on the verge of possibly losing his job up until tonight? Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like, if things really hit the fan this season, yeah, he would completely get fired. But seeing a pick like this, like, he just pulled a fast one and just played chess with the Jaguars playing checkers.
Yep. I agree. And that's why I'm like, I don't feel invested in this New England pick. I don't see where they're looking to get value or who they're looking to pick up. It just, none of it really makes any sense to me.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get one of these young guys out of like Michigan on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah.
I like how they have to recap the top 3 players or the top 3 picks in the draft. It's like, what are you updating, man? It's only 3 picks.
Right.
And none of it was like a surprise. I guess the place was a surprise, but
right.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh man, you could have watched it in the stadium? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in the stadium I've seen.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I was seeing that.
Maybe I should have live streamed from the stadium.
Yeah, next time or Saturday.
Will Campbell. Wow. I'm very surprised by that. He doesn't look like a very big dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, like I said,
319.
offensive lineman is definitely where I would value. This is New England, right?
Yep.
This was a New England pick. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I called offensive lineman. Mm-hmm.
So now Cleveland's back up there. Now, maybe they're sold on Shador.
Oh, that's interesting. That is real interesting.
That
That's a
might
little
be the
bit of a
best
fast
place for
one.
him to go. It
Yeah.
might be the best place.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Everyone thought they were going to say Travis Hunter, and they actually wanted Shador.
Yep, it's interesting. I do feel Shador definitely goes top 10. I can't see him going beyond the New Orleans pick. To me, that
No,
just
I
doesn't make
don't either.
sense.
Right. No, what
Yeah.
if you're New Orleans? What if you're Cleveland and you just go, hey, New Orleans, we'll take your pick and some more picks.
Yes.
And just keep stacking
Oh
up.
man, it'd be brilliant. It would be absolutely brilliant if Cleveland just keeps building a domino formation to keep falling back in the draft. It would be brilliant. That's what the theory was that the Rams were going to do.
We got 8 minutes on this pick. Holy cow. But
at least it's moving along because, like, I swear in like previous years, these picks would get drawn out for like 12 minutes on end. And it's just
my gosh, you're telling me, and you're just like, man, hurry up.
Yeah, like, let's go.
Bought a chocolate shake earlier. It's delicious.
Oh, is this Arby's? Is this an Arby's?
It is.
There we go. Nice. Nice.
I got a sandwich I wasn't very happy with, by the way.
Aw. Okay. Huh.
Draft watch party. I love it. It doesn't seem very full.
Yeah.
No, like looking at something like this, if they really do get Shador, I'm gonna like blow a gasket.
You know what? You'd be pretty smart, man. And the thing is, you don't have those NFL Network microphones lying on a couch that's all glammed up and everything. If you don't expect to be drafted day one, you just don't.
You know what I expect, or I would love? Ashton Genty right here. I mean, he could take place of Jerome Ford or spell him with Jerome Ford. I think that would be really nice too.
Yeah, I'll be honest too. Cleveland, I mean, like Nick Chubb is, we love Nick Chubb, but they really don't have any like legit, like nose to the grindstone kind of running backs. They have to make an upgrade at running back.
Right?
So did Chubb sign with anyone?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, he's the Browns opted to not retain him.
Yeah, there you go. If you're on E-Trade right now, the person to Kevin Stefanski's left is the GM. Super sharp guy.
Okay. Well, here we go. I hate that they say the pick is in and it takes like 2 more minutes.
I know.
Come on.
I am absolutely with you on that. And then we get to Saturday and it just all becomes bananas.
Boom, 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 boom. I love it. Whoa.
Okay, so that's your Michigan guy. I thought so, and that goes back to this theory that that Myles Garrett knew that he was going to be playing alongside someone else. Yeah, I mean that's where I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know too much about this guy, but would I want him ahead of Abdul Carter? No way. No way.
Who's the guy in the blue suit and the blue shoes that is hugging everybody?
Oh no, I didn't catch him yet.
He's literally every person that's walked up there. He has hugged and shook their hands. I can't figure out who the guy is. Wow, heavyweight wrestling champion? Is that what I just heard?
Oh yeah.
No, we're breaking it down.
Okay, my bad. I did see this tape on him earlier. Yeah, this guy's great. This is one of those where like the football player looks totally different than like the guy walking on the street in real life.
Yeah,
like this guy looks like this guy looks like the second coming of like Max Crosby, man. Like it's
Aaron
wild.
Donald. He looks like an Aaron Donald size guy.
Yeah, he does.
Maybe put some muscle on that frame. He could be legit.
Right?
He just didn't seem like a top 5 pick to me. And I think this is where people have talked about the depth of this draft. Like the depth is huge, but the top end talent is not.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know we've talked about the quarterbacks not being top guys, but this is interesting.
Not at all. I would hope now with my team on the clock that James Jones comes out and makes the pick. Because I know too, during the season, he lives in Vegas and he does call games on the radio network for the Raiders.
Solid.
Mm-hmm.
And that Cleveland Browns hat is pretty clean, though. Get off the stage, kid.
Yeah.
Do you think Browns fans are actually happy?
With that pick, no.
Well, here we go. Ooh, Pete Carroll's in there hanging out. All right, what are you hoping for? Genty, McMillan, Starks, or Johnson?
I mean, I think this ultimately comes down to what Chip Kelly has really been thinking for quite a while. I mean, I think Chip and Spytek are on the same page with this pick, with who they want. I mean, my theory was go quarterback and then go with that running back from Ohio State in the second round. That's my theory. But we'll see how this goes.
I did not see you grab Raheem Mostert. Wow.
Oh yeah, that was a sneaky pick about 2 weeks ago. It's okay. I mean, he's got speed, man.
All right, we're live reacting to this. We're ready for
live
the
reacting. This is my team on the clock, my pick. This is wild. Could be Shedeur.
I mean, that's who we assumed. Like, for a while, we've assumed that.
Yeah, it is essentially who my friend at work was pointing out that we would probably pick. So yeah, it makes sense.
How you feeling about that one, though?
Honestly, not that great. I have seen his highlights. I don't really see how he plays into the pass game. He's played at a small college. I'm not incredibly excited about it. I'm not. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong about this, but I'm not. I'm not the biggest fan of Ashton Jeanty. I have to see it in real life, to be honest.
You know, I was very excited for you guys, and I wanted you to pick him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I am seeing tape of him running all over the field against Oregon at Oregon. So he had to do some damage there somehow, some way.
Wow. Wow, that was an intense hug with the commish.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know. I just got to see. I got to see the results.
Smith. Emmitt Smith. Oh. See, I know they're trying to. Oh, they're just trying to make a video package just like Emmitt Smith. Yeah, I don't see Emmitt Smith. I was going to say Emmitt Smith was a big body.
Right. I'll be honest. There is some play against is this Wazoo. Oh, that's it. That's the play. So I saw the play at the sideline angle. He literally takes the entire student body of Washington State in that play. It's wild. There's like 5 guys tackling him at once, and he shakes all of them off. It's pretty weird. I see him more like Maurice Jones-Drew.
I like that comparison. That sounds better. Wow. Wow. That's pretty solid. Now you got to stack him with Zamir White, Raheem Mostert. Like, he's automatically got the starting job. So at that rate, it was probably the best pick available.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, we already got a Raider fan at his old high school. Okay, that's cool.
Nice. That's pretty awesome. Oh man, you guys got our former corner Eric Stokes on your team.
Okay.
Devin White. Huh. I'm just going through your roster here and just kind of picking out players and seeing what I'm trying to see, I guess.
Mhm.
Let's see here. So we got the Jets on the clock. Now the Jets need a tight end. So obviously I'm looking at uh Loveland out of Michigan and Tyler Warren out of Penn State. Like, I think that could be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Besides that, a lot of these guys are probably second round, third round picks after.
Yeah,
But is that a reach for one of those guys?
maybe. I don't know.
Or is this where we get that trade to go get Shador Sanders?
Um, yeah, it's coming to that time. I mean, we're getting close to that New Orleans pick. That's for sure.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh man, I bet you Tet McMillan goes to Carolina. Now that I'm looking through some of the teams that are still there,
Hmm.
the pick is it. Man, we're doing like a pick every 6 minutes.
Right?
I like it. A lineman. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, doing more with that offense. I can see it. I mean, they do need a little bit of help on defense, but um, yeah, I mean, this is a team I feel is definitely putting themselves in the right direction. I do like the future for Carolina. I think Dave Canellis did an excellent job last year, basically reviving and saving the career of Bryce Young.
That's true. Definitely true. Adam Thielen was the
Mhm.
man. And I
Absolutely.
know they got Jalen Coker and Xavier Leggett, but do they add another receiver?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. At some point, yeah. Yep.
Now,
Maybe even tight
they
end as well.
I was to say they need a tight end for sure. Um,
Yeah.
but you could always use corner and safety help too.
Okay.
They've only got three safeties on their roster, so maybe they're holding out for a safety.
Yeah.
No. That was mean to Jets fans.
Yeah, I thought I heard too. Like he's what was it? Zach Wilson. I thought I saw he's on. He's like a third string quarterback for some team right now. He's basically at the end of his career.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, he plays for the Dolphins. Good gosh.
Oh, so they got him behind Tagovailoa. Isn't there another guy?
No, it's just him and Tua.
Oh. Well, that's a good situation then. I mean, that could become something. I mean, that's what Mike White was betting on.
Yeah. It's weird though, looking at their roster. They only have 3 running backs. Devon Achane's and Jalen Wright is out there.
Okay. I still think though that team is by far the worst team in that division.
I think it could be, yeah. I'm gonna grab my tea. Are you watching on ESPN or NFL Network?
ESPN.
Best available is Shedeur Sanders. What if Carolina just blows everyone's minds and grabs Shedeur? That's horrible.
It would be no. I think what they would do is probably, if that were the case, that then you would just trade. You would trade back for that. Or wait, who are we talking about? We're talking about New Orleans, right?
No, I said Carolina. I thought it would be funny.
Yeah, you said Carolina. I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah. Yeah, and didn't Carolina just pick a offensive lineman
on the pick before?
Yeah, I thought they did. Unless I'm wrong.
No, that was the Jets.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. My bad. Yeah, this is where it's getting real interesting. I mean, this is basically do or die situation for New Orleans. I mean, sorry, for Shedeur Sanders. So, yeah. If anything, I would expect this to be a trade by Pittsburgh, but apparently it's not. It is Carolina. But no, I think they stick with Bryce Young.
I thought they would go with Ted McMillan.
Yeah, so that's the wide receiver pick, like you said.
Yep.
Yep.
I think it's silly, but they must not believe that much in Xavier Legette or Coker from last year.
Yep.
Yeah, I honestly don't think this is a very smart pick. But it was a pick that, like, he's probably the best available on their board. I thought they probably should have went tight end now that I think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, kid you not, man, that tight end from Michigan is nuts. And seeing how recent success on tight ends by teams like Detroit and Vegas have had tells you that these high end tight ends coming out of the draft are worth it. And might tell you something about how I plan on playing fantasy this year as well, because the amazing tight ends are back.
That's true.
So to me, right here, this New Orleans pick coming up, I think this has to be Shedeur Sanders.
Agreed.
I think it has to.
Unless they know something and then he falls.
It would have, yeah. It's either this or he's going to fall pretty much all the way to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm a little puzzled by this pick, but look at New Orleans. Wow, that was fast. My man's not even put his hat on yet.
Yeah, right. Makes you wonder too if with stuff like this going on, if like the NFL kind of like pauses the if they pause like the draft clock, because if the players aren't even out there and this is all pomp and circumstance kind of stuff for night one, makes you kind of wonder about what's what kind of goes on behind the scenes for that clock, because otherwise then we're going to be way behind what's going on in real life and what's actually going on with the actual clock.
Wow. This next pick could really mean a lot to what the draft is doing. Maybe they just really like Spencer Rattler out in New Orleans.
They might, but I can tell you, if I'm a new head coach there, Spencer is not going to be my guy. So I will make sure I get the quarterback I want if I'm Kellen Moore. That absolutely happens, like now.
Chris Olave, Brandon Cooks, Rashid Shaheed, Juwan Johnson, Alvin Kamara. Like, that offense could be flying right now.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, Kamara is a top 10 running back, man. Like, it's pretty cool what they got going on in New Orleans, but they need a guy that can actually threaten the ball downfield to make things happen.
Oh, that might mean something. Wow. That's almost an 18-year difference. That's crazy. Everyone's standing. Well, 99% of the people are standing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about the same person as we are, Shedeur Sanders. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what can we expect right now? It's almost too good to be true.
Yeah, we'll see.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Dude, Calvin Banks Jr. was graded as a second round pick on the big board that I'm looking at.
Mm.
Like, what?
I mean, if I'm Kellen Moore, I would have taken Shedeur.
He was the third offensive lineman on the big board. Like, what the heck were they looking at? So he could be really good, except he was banged up. Like, what in the world? I don't know how I feel about that. Wow. You wanted to hear what they said about him?
That he was good when he was not hurt.
Yeah. Wow. Pick's already in. We are moving. What is this nonsense that's happening right now? Give us our pick. Why would you do this now? So they literally dropped the date of when they're going to do this. What kind of nonsense was that, Metrics? You seem like you're locked in on them.
I don't know. Oh, it's a great reception by the locals.
Yeah. Oh, do the Bears just mess it up like normal?
If I were there, I'd just keep stacking the offensive line.
Yeah, this was sad. Former professional wrestler Steve McMichael as well.
Gotcha.
Running back, Jackson State. Walter went to the line. He rushed for nearly 17,000 yards and 110 touchdowns over 13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness not only for his performance and excellence.
50 years since his selection. That's crazy.
With the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award. So in the 2020
What? Yeah, Bears just bears that up, didn't they?
At tight end, they're pretty much stacked, if I recall, right?
I thought so
they got,
too. Like, what?
Which tight end is this, by the way? Is this the tight end from Michigan?
Yeah, lovely.
Oh, okay. All right, that changes things, bud.
But I mean,
I think he is by far the best tight end in the draft, by far.
I agree, but at the same time, it's like, why?
To give Caleb Williams weapons, also you can add a tight end to the offensive line. That's a win-win, man. And also, you have a head coach who just made the tight end that was drafted 2 years ago, basically the best tight end in the league 2 years ago. So if there's anyone who's a master with a tight end, yeah, it's Ben Johnson. This is a fantastic pick.
Yeah, but then you got Cole
you can
Kmet.
run 12 personnel with him. Yeah. You run him out there with Cole Kmet. Yeah. I love it, man.
Now the line has to hold up because you're going to put 2 wide receivers out there. You're going to make sure your running backs out there. You're going to have 2 tight ends. Like, I think that's rough.
Really rough when you have the most genius offensive mind, probably in that division.
Let's hope.
Running that team. I'm telling you, man. People want to naysay and say Chicago sucks. Funny, they have a quarterback who threw 1 interception in the last 12 games before Ben Johnson got the job. They got something brewing down there, man. Like, Chicago will absolutely be a force. And they ripped an offensive lineman from the Chiefs. I think they brought in another offensive lineman on top of that in free agency. They got some real nice stuff cooking on offense.
I'm gonna cross my fingers that they're horrible as usual.
I mean, like they had some weird games too that they kind of lost that didn't quite make sense. AKA the Thanksgiving game. Yeah, this is a very interesting team looking forward, man.
Their wide receiver depth doesn't look as nice as it did last year.
They lost Keenan Allen.
Losing Keenan Allen, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I still figured that this year would be the year where we see Rome Odunze really stepping up and becoming the one. I thought that from the get-go. I thought last year was kind of a training grounds for Rome. But I mean, the guy's got the body type and the style that he kind of emulates Davante Adams, to be honest. And I think I definitely see next season he's doing that. And I've heard too, before they even got Keenan Allen, the plan was to put DJ Moore in the slot. So now if you put DJ Moore in the slot, and he does some crafty plays, man, put him in the slot and get a strong complementary number 2 to go outside opposite Rome. I feel that's the plan.
Right, but is there anybody left for that? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's going to have to come in round 2. I mean, we saw too in last year's draft that you basically could get solid wide receivers at the end of round 1. The thing that I'm hearing about this draft is that this draft is actually lighter on wide receivers than we've seen the last handful of years. So that's where really making a pick for – I think making that tight end pick from Michigan, I think that's brilliant. If wide receiver is a concern, then tight ends catch a football, and let's just get the best one out there. And considering how he struck pay dirt with Brock Wright from Detroit 2 years ago, yeah, I think this is totally the right way to go.
Yeah, there's only 5 receivers projected in the I take it back. 6 receivers projected in the first 3 rounds. Yeah, this pick has been in for like 2 to 3 minutes.
Welcome back to the San Francisco 49ers on the clock. Number 11. You're looking at Pittsburgh Steelers champions who is in Texas tonight waiting for him. It has been one of the big storylines leading up to this draft. That if you listen to any of the quarterbacks last beyond the ninth selection of the New Orleans Saints, take a look at the teams who transferred through the teams, if you will, up until the Steelers picking number 21. Not any obvious expectations that these teams would need to select your quarterbacks around the Shepard. Watch it be expensive.
I would say there's no guarantee, though, that Arizona doesn't go quarterback. We know Kyler Murray's on a 1-year deal right now.
Wow, that's crazy.
For a special message from United States service members stationed at Yokota Air Base in Japan.
Hello from the United States Force of Command. I'm Sergeant Mitchell Johnson. I'm here with service members from the United States Army, Marine Corps, and Navy. We're proud to announce that this year we're celebrating our 250th anniversary. We're grateful for the opportunity to partner with the NFL and the USO in introducing the San Francisco 49ers 2025 draft pick.
The San Francisco 49ers draft pick, 19 was renamed.
I I wonder if they go for the other good tight end from Penn State. That guy had some pretty banana tape too. But then again, too, they might have to go heavier on defense because that defense is aging.
I think defensive back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Hey, there you go, DJ Triggs.
No, they went edge. Wow. Didn't I thought it was defensive back, but
Yeah, sort of.
that was another guy.
I mean, it's exterior instead of interior.
Big board, late first round. Yeah, that's a little bit of a head scratcher to me. But San Francisco usually can make a guy as good as he can be. And he's from Georgia. You could definitely pick worse.
Yeah. Guys from Georgia work out pretty good on the edge. Just ask Philadelphia.
I mean, unless they go to Green Bay. Yeah, we got a couple guys that aren't very exciting, and they're on that 5th-year option right now. I always laugh.
I mean, I got to see better than highlights against Boston College. Just saying.
I love when
highlight against Florida. That's good.
Right. When a guy tips a pass and everyone runs to pick it up, and I'm like, do you guys not know the rules?
Yeah.
Cowboys pick is already in, and we're sitting here showboating for a little bit.
But hey, I mean, are we basically just kind of like just simmering the kettle and just kind of just kind of getting our hands warm? Because it kind of felt like that when Dak Prescott got drafted and he was sitting behind Tony Romo, and it was like, that day's coming. I feel like that day's coming for Bo Milton, man.
Oh,
Joe Milton guy has a howitzer. Yeah, Joe Milton, man. Dude, he is a Jay Daniels that you get for a bargain. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, man. But like, man, that game, I know it was against backups, but man, that game last year, Week 18, when a bunch of games don't matter, and you watch the game against the Buffalo Bills, that game was super cool. Super cool.
Wide receiver?
Oh, I like that. Fortify that offensive line, man. That's plus didn't what's his name? I swear they had a big time offensive lineman just retire, if I recall. I forgot who he was. But he was a guy picked around the time of like Zeke Elliott and Dak Prescott, and I'm pretty sure that guy just retired. He might have been in Dallas maybe 2-3 seasons before they got there, but I'm pretty sure he retired this past offseason. So adding more fortitude to the offensive line is definitely a good play.
This guy runs funny.
I think that's a great move, man. Don't bend the cap, man. Unless they're doing that, gotta keep it flat brim, man. Gotta make it keep it sharp. I also want to know who is changing the pedestal for the logos right when they show up there and see themselves in that mirror. I wonder if the logos are like sliding out. They gotta be.
That's a good question.
But I love that pick, man. I think that's a great pick.
But he's another guy that was projected second round. So I'm very confused on some of these reaches.
How many offensive linemen you got ahead of that guy? I mean, it's one thing to say projected around, but how many offensive linemen are ahead of that guy?
He was actually second, but Banks went before him.
So he's basically the second best offensive lineman.
Yep.
Yeah, then don't worry about the second round BS. There's 32 teams in the NFL. If you need an offensive lineman and this is the basically next best guy up there, go get him.
There were three guys. There were three guys projected to be second round pick offensive linemen. So to be going this high is kind of weird because you could still get Gray Zabel.
But if there's only a few offensive linemen that you're looking at, and I mean, there might be this consensus of, oh, you can get this guy in the second round. Well, what if you can't? And what if there's three offensive linemen that get drafted round one? We've already seen one before this guy. So this guy is at least the second offensive lineman taken.
Third.
And offensive linemen, like,
Third.
Oh, it's third. Yeah, offensive linemen taken in like the first few rounds are usually really dominant. Unless you're the Raiders and we take Alex Leatherwood. That guy stunk. Ironically, same college. Guy was taken from Alabama. Leatherwood also from Alabama. But I do not downplay that pick at all. I think if you can get a solid offensive lineman in one of the first few rounds, get them. I know for us too. Last year we drafted. It might have been round 3. It was either round 2 or round 3. We drafted. I think this guy was not C.J. Gardner Johnson, but something like that was his name. We drafted him from Oregon. He had a weird game at the end of the season against the Chiefs, but for the games that guy stepped in at center, he played pretty well. So I always support getting offensive linemen early.
I mean, I do to an extent, but there's a lot of good players on the board still. I mean, corner and edge rusher, or like defensive back and edge rusher, are kind of
you definitely want someone to go opposite Micah. Is Micah basically still the only like legit edge rusher on Dallas?
Let's look at their depth chart.
Because if that's
they got
the case,
Dante Fowler Jr.
Okay.
Besides that, I would like to say yes.
Okay.
But to me, the only corner they have is Trayvon Diggs. So maybe getting a safety or a corner would have helped.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Hey, look, another pick that's in, but it's going to take 5 minutes.
Yeah, it will.
That seems like a fun movie.
Yeah, I want to say blonde actress. I saw her in something really cool a while ago. Not Marvel related. Kind of like a spy thriller. Forgot what it was, but I'll have to look it up. That's debate. But solid actress.
Huh.
I don't really like to make. I'm scared. Well, with Verizon announced that I can lock in a low price for 3 years. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Can you hear me now? This is the legendary right here. It just can't control and tell stories. And if you have one, you probably got a story worth telling. Here's the 50 years. No time. I got something coming up.
No way. There's going to be a Chad Powers show.
Yeah, I saw that. Let's see what that is.
Man, I seen the little clip on, I think, YouTube, and it cracked me up completely.
Nice.
Because I think he did that a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, I think that was Eli Manning showing up at a Penn State practice.
It was.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Should we go Penn State? Should we go Tyler Warren here? Nope. Kenneth Grant.
Doesn't matter. Miami is a failure of HIs. Basically, ever since Dan Marino, they have just been in an absolute tailspin.
See, but you know what this means for a team like my team, right? There might be a wide receiver available at 23.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, what was it? They were saying like there's like that Washington State guy who said like, I don't watch football. Okay, cool. Why guy play? He plays pretty darn good.
No, I want Matthew Golden from Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Texas has since Sark is on there, has basically kind of overtaken Alabama as wide receiver U. Plus, you got big name quarterbacks going there. Yep. So yeah, I mean, like Ewers, Arch Manning. Okay.
From Ohio State, that kid's legit.
Nice.
Both of those receivers that I've seen out of Ohio State can be pretty legit. And they got 2 running backs that are legit. Like, I don't know. Ohio State doesn't do me wrong, you know? Oh, no. I'm thinking of the other wide receivers from Iowa State.
Okay.
Look at that. The Colts pick is already in. We're winning. Wow. I think these guys are pretty set. They need a tight end for sure.
Yeah, they do. Woo! That's no debate. That is no debate. Not even once. That's your boy, DJ Triggs. Calling that one right there. Straight fire.
Well, Gramps is up there trying to stay awake in the front row.
Man, that's tough, man. Like that guy's MVP. Like that is tough.
They put him in the most
tough order.
They put him in the most uncomfortable chair of all time, too. Like everyone else is on a nice couch, and he's just like, "Come on, man."
Terrible. Like, come on, man. Like this guy is like done a lot of things in life, and you give him just an awful chair. That's no respect.
Right. Rodney Dangerfield out here.
Exactly. Yeah, like this Omari in Hampton. Yeah, I love this guy, man. This guy's great.
Yeah.
Him and the Michigan guy, like, definitely keep your eyes on these guys for fantasy for sure.
So Ty Warren here as a tight end, like he's not very athletic, but he reminds me of like the George Kittle, Gronk kind
That's
of stuff.
exactly who I was gonna say. I was just about to say George Kittle. He looks nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that hit that he took on the sideline was like he just stood up and you're like, wow.
Look, I don't know if you just saw this play against Southern Cal, but he's about to catch a pass. It's stiff-armed in the face. That's a flat-out penalty that didn't even get thrown.
Yeah.
It's stiff-armed in the face and then just rips the ball out of midair.
What the heck? He lined up at center and quarterback?
Center, quarterback, tight end, wide out, slot wide receiver, and running back.
Why?
Yeah.
That's why I thought this guy was the number one tight end. To me, I thought Tyler Warren was I know you like your guy in Michigan, but I watched highlights of this dude and some film, and I was like, holy cow, this dude's a monster. Oh, where's Gramps?
Right?
Gramps he's like, wait, I don't know what we're clapping about.
That's okay.
Wow. All right. Atlanta's the first team in like 3 or 4 teams. They're not ready. You know, they've got Jesse Bates and DJ Terrell and guys like that when they're defensive backs. So I don't know. Maybe they're looking for some linebacker help or some edge rusher help. I don't think offensively they need very much.
Yeah.
But maybe a linebacker like Jalen Walker out of Georgia or Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. Some front seven kind of guys.
Yeah.
Bounty never won't last long, so you can tackle. Bounty never won't. Clean skill, running out. Bounty. Check out the new whip. I fully custom. Many Bud Lights in the face. Many Bud Lights in the face. One Bud Lights. Give me one of those.
Not a fan of that Dr. Pepper. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lay it out right. Dr. Pepper is great as is. Maybe you go with the Dr. Pepper Zero. Pretty much, I kind of got into it ever since I've been watching Landman on. I'd say that's Paramount Plus. That's by the guy who does the Yellowstone series. But Landman is Billy Bob Thornton. And who else is in it? John Hamm is in it. Demi Moore is in it. There's a great second to last episode cameo from, kid you not, Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones literally steals the show from both Billy Bob and John Hamm in the same scene. I kid you not, man. I will send it to you. It is dope. It's cool. For all the wonky Jerry Jones stuff that's out there, what he does in that episode of Landman is great. But there's a scene early in one of the early episodes where Billy Bob Thornton's character really damages one of his fingers. And someone tells him, like, hey, you need to see a doctor. Like, that thing is, like, ripping off and not looking good. You need a doctor. And he's like, all I need right now is a cigarette and a Dr. Pepper. So he gets the Dr. Pepper. He drinks it. He has a cigarette. And after a little bit, then he tells the person, all right, now I'm good. Let's go to the doctor.
That's funny. %1 chance he would be picked at 15. That's pretty messed up to put on a screen for a young man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. He was very wrong on a couple of those guys. Like Jimmy Clausen and Brady Quinn, both were kind of bad. Chad Pennington was a solid starter for a while, you know. A couple of Hall of Famers in there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got, Metrics? Is Geno Smith a Hall of Famer?
Wait, Geno Smith?
That's what I said, yeah.
Who are you talking about? Yeah, Geno Smith, no, he's nobody. He's just an average bridge quarterback.
You can't say that about your starting quarterback.
It's true.
No,
It's no debate, man.
I mean, yeah, there's very little debate on that one. Very little debate.
Right.
All right, this has been like a 10-minute pick.
I'm probably gonna guess it's probably gonna go defense, considering it's Raheem Mostert. But this is a team that's been really wonky, man, and has had some real questionable stuff going on with picking players over the last handful of years early in the draft.
Yeah, I'm thinking defensive too. Well, I'm hoping defensive. I need wide receivers to fall. Yep, that's actually who I thought about there. Like when you're looking at linebackers, it's probably the best linebacker out there. And like we were saying, you get a guy from Georgia, just set it and forget it. And he's going to Atlanta. Wow, there's a lot of first-round guys that are not there. Isn't that crazy? Now, do you think that's a Green Bay thing or just these guys not wanting to go places?
I think. Say that again.
So
You saying
that's like
something about a Green Bay thing?
that's like the fifth guy that I've seen where he's at home or at a party. Like, do you think that's a Green Bay thing, or these
A lot of these guys do
guys
it.
just
A
wouldn't
lot of these
realize?
guys, they want to celebrate at home with their family. It doesn't matter where you hold the draft. I'd say as of like maybe 5 years ago, it became really popular, but it really started to become a growing trend, to be honest, ever since the Aaron Rodgers debacle. That was the beginning of people realizing, I don't know if I want to go to the draft. Let's try to do something at home just in case.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I think it's fantastic to walk out there and get that handshake.
Yeah,
Even if you get picked
absolutely.
in the second only who cares? There's only
Right.
so many times you get to walk across the stage and get the commish handshake.
Right.
It's literally once in a lifetime.
Right.
Like all of this draft stuff is just ego.
It is. It is.
But at the end of the day, like think about Shador, right? There was only 3 teams that were going to draft him. That's it. And one of them,
True.
or four, what is it? 4 teams. And one of those teams was going to get Cam Ward. So it's not like there's very many spaces for him.
Right. That's true.
So this is another team where I think they're going to have to go defensively.
I think. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, don't rule out Shador Sanders to Arizona.
Okay. Why so?
It probably doesn't happen, but I'm telling you, Kyler Murray's days in Arizona were done the day they hired the new head coach and the new GM. Like, they're going to finish that contract, and that's it. And they can basically get out of the contract after this season.
Yeah.
But then again, do you look at it as like Atlanta did, where they're like, yep, we'll pay essentially $100 million to Kirk Cousins for last season, but basically, if we have to realize that we're paying $100 million for paying both Kirk and Michael Penix, is it worth it? I guess so. I mean, they kind of came close to the playoffs, but came up a little short. I think definitely Atlanta moving forward is now truly better with Michael Penix going forward. And granted, Penix didn't tear his Achilles like Cousins did in Minnesota, but you can tell the wheels have fallen off.
Why is Mel Kiper telling us that they need a wide receiver? I mean, they got Greg Dortch. They picked up Marvin Harrison last year. Trey McBride's out there. If they pick up I think they should go Hampton maybe. Put him with James Conner and maybe that's a 1-2 punch at running back. But I really think they should put somebody back there with Butter Baker.
Okay. I think, I mean, I think ultimately when it comes to this team, what they got to do is they got to basically they got to just get this team ready for transferring it away from Kyler Murray, because grab another wide receiver, cool, great. That receiver and Marvin Harrison are in witness protection. Yeah.
That
They don't
makes
care about
sense.
helping out.
Yeah, I don't think they should
Doesn't matter.
help the offense at all. And then obviously the Bengals don't need a receiver. I mean, they're looking offensive line, but I don't really feel like there should be an offensive lineman getting drafted right now.
Yeah.
Now they could really use a corner. Maybe this is where Will Johnson goes from Michigan.
Okay.
Or oh man, you know who I really like is Barron out of Texas. That's one of those
Okay.
guys. Like, okay, if the Packers didn't pick a wide receiver and Barron's still there and they picked him instead, I
Right.
would not be angry.
Okay.
Oh, they're talking about Shamir Stewart. Wait, maybe not. What does Cincinnati have to be thinking about right now? Another guy not there. How bad is Colorado next year?
Wait. What about Colorado?
How bad is Colorado next year? From scale of 1 to bad.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of curious. I mean, like I think legitimately, I think that program is starting to change, and you're going to have to see what life is like without essentially your kids playing there. So, yeah, I think honestly, when it comes to recruiting, I think he is doing a good job. But the thing is, too, I mean, you play in a pretty bad conference. Big 12
Right.
is jank when it comes. Big 12 is a basketball conference. When it comes
Is
to
now.
football, it's basically like ACC. The ACC is a basketball conference.
Yeah.
Big 12 is a basketball conference. SEC, big time football conference. Big 12, or sorry, Big 10, which is basically like the good renegade schools from the Pac 12, big time football conference. So you legitimately have two big time football conferences in the nation. And then basically it's everyone else's mid majors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Left out the Big East too. That's another basketball only conference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, a new Final Destination movie. Wow. Haven't seen one of those in forever.
Yeah.
I think that's the movie where back in the day, a girl was like arguing with someone and walked out and got hit by a bus. It was like, whoa, final
And I
destination.
hate it when that happens. Every time.
Every time. I'm not gonna lie, it's weird how big soccer is becoming.
Yeah.
I like the hoodie that Shefty's got on.
I actually do not like that. I don't like the hoodie.
It matches the coat very well. I thought we had a trade for a second. Man, we're 17 picks in and only one trade. Like, what the heck is
They're doing a good job moving it along.
Yeah. Shamar Stewart. Okay. So a lot of people were talking about him as being the next Rashawn Gary, where he was a big time
Okay.
recruit. All right, that guy, the dude that's shaking his hand. Who is that dude?
Yeah.
He's like standing at the just waiting to shake hands.
Right. I don't know, man. That's debate. We're gonna have to put our best people on it. Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, he's making me angry.
Okay.
He's the first guy to shake hands, and it's like, dude, who are you? And he's real hype about everybody. Oh man, Seattle's scaring me a little bit. But with Cooper Kupp and JSN, I don't know if they need a receiver either. This could be where a corner finally drops. Is Seattle.
Sure.
Oh man. Wow. Man, I'm not gonna lie. Raj is he's taking some punishment up there.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it is the one day of the year where that's going to happen. It's going to happen every time. I mean, he knows what he signed up for. You got to be willing to take a hit from these guys.
I mean, he's getting a little old, though, to be taking that kind of punishment.
Well, when you roll in the paycheck he rolls in. Man,
true.
It's clearly worth it. If you knew how much he rolls in every year, it's clearly worth it. I believe so, yes.
Is that a Taco Bell emblem on his head? What the?
Yeah.
Look, that's a bell, right? On the next to the B?
It looked like something, man. I think it's a towel logo though.
Oh,
I'll tell you what though. I've spoken to my Bengals friend at work. I really feel that I feel like that head coach is really on a short leash, man. I am shocked he's kept his job for as long as he's had.
I did like that white helmet, by the way.
The white helmet is fresh, man. That is easily one of the best outfits any NFL team wears.
I didn't know there were that many Seahawks fans in general. They seem to be semi-excited about their bad pick. Ha ha ha. Wow, that was a high five. Oh, a missed high five. There was a turkey up there. Like, whoa, what is going on here? Oh, I think you're frozen, Metrics. Oh. I think Metrics he's out here. That's what Seattle's gonna do here. Let's see. This is where Will Johnson finally comes off. Maybe Barron from Texas. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Another guy not at the draft. Six, man, 6'6", 312. I was about to say they're showing a play where his quarterback throws an interception. That wouldn't have been too fun. And he's back.
Undisclosed location, things happen.
That's understandable.
Yep, that's debate. Hey, Gray's able.
Yeah. Guard out of North Dakota.
There you go.
Is that the Bison up there?
I mean that's a team too that I think they gotta make sure that they keep things solid on offense. Because if I were them, I would go into this season banking that probably Mike Evans or Chris Godwin or both go down. And if that happens, you're really gonna have to pound the rock. Like really pound the rock. I mean the receiver that John Tech drafted last year is like solid, but hope it doesn't happen. But you got to be ready just in case because both those guys they're very susceptible to getting hurt.
But they have Jalen McMillan and Sterling Shepard behind them, so I think they might be okay.
Yeah. McMillan is the one that really panned out that Spytech picked.
Now here's another place where I think getting a corner might be a good idea. Whew. Whoa. Well, that was not okay. I was getting anxiety watching that.
Ah,
Just to help everyday Americans think. When you build your credit, build your trust. When payday comes on your turn, and when your girl math starts rapping, oh yeah, you're big. Success doesn't happen overnight. But as you progress, you start. If you really want something good, something better, hey, do it.
Look at Coach Prime getting more NIL money there.
he is.
The heck
Thing that we're going to see moving forward is the difference between what was that?
I was like, why is there still 8 minutes on the clock up there? Like, what the heck? But now the pick is in.
I know. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to see the difference moving forward between like paying players and NIL because they are two different things. Because you got to understand, like these players now, like big time power universities, you are paying a player. When you see Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter in a KFC commercial, that's NIL. That's different. That's what's going to have to happen going forward.
Mm-hmm. They thought he could go to the Dolphins? Really? It seems weird.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time that he does get picked today.
Yeah. Do we agree defensive back?
Yep.
No freaking way. Why?
Yikes. Again, too, you got to make sure you got the guy because probably going to lose Mike Evans or Chris Godwin at some point. You're going to lose one of those two guys. So you got to make sure you're still threatening outside so that way you can still pound the rock with Bucky Irving. That's a solid pick, man. I know it's who you
I'm more
wanted.
mad that a receiver
And
came off
Ohio State guys are pretty darn good.
Yeah, I told you. I really liked him.
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, it's so weird, though, because you expect first-round talent to be starters, right? Or at least to come in and compete. He's going to be sitting behind guys.
An Ohio State receiver like that, nah, he'll be playing right away.
Yeah, but they're going to have
I put
to
him ahead of Chris
in.
Godwin.
Maybe.
Okay. I mean, Roma Dunze got out there like day one.
Well, yeah, because
and these Ohio State guys,
suck.
I'm telling you, man, you're gonna eat those words come November.
I will not, because the Bears have failed forever.
No, their quarterback is already better than yours.
That is not
You're gonna
true.
see it.
I will never, ever in the history of my life.
I think you could go from whatever you had last season to very quickly having the third best quarterback in your division. And that ain't gonna cut it.
Oh, I will never go third. I think we'll always be at least number 2.
And just saying too, I mean, that contract very well structured by the Green Bay Packers to get out of. Very well structured.
I agree.
I agree. Money-wise, it is incredibly comparable to Trevor Lawrence, but Jacksonville sucks as a franchise and everything post Mark Brunell. And they're for having the same identical to Jordan Love, they are actually stuck in that contract. They're just stuck. There's just no way to get out of it. Green Bay has it built in a very smart structure that they can get out of it, and they're not going to see having to pay out basically more than. I mean, they're never going to have to be concerned about paying more than $20 million, honestly, of dead cap money to get out of the contract. It's brilliantly structured. So if I'm Green Bay too, like you develop Malik Willis, but if I'm Green Bay, like could I take a flyer and maybe draft that quarterback from Syracuse? Yeah, I do that.
See, but the problem with last year though is none of those wide receivers developed, which is why I'm hoping that they get a wide receiver going. Like Denver's the one team that I thought would pick a receiver, not Tampa Bay. And Denver's only got Cortland Sutton over there. So it's like, man, they could really use a guy. I mean, Marvin Mims is kind of meh. Evan Ingram's pretty solid at tight end. So I'm thinking another weapon for Bo Nix, but now it's worrying me. Because if they go out and get Matthew Golden, now you're starting to reach a little bit. No, I wouldn't mind Will Johnson either. And I don't understand how he's fallen this deep.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, he like having a solid corner. Yeah, he was a guy that was not believed to be lasting this long. So if you get a high-end corner, picking in the 20s, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
It's weird that Mel has him so low because the big board I'm looking at has him at number 5.
Okay. Love the kid with a Bo Nix face mask. That's a win.
For his favorite team. Please join me in cheering on Sam as he comes to.
That's cool.
So wonderful. Grew up in all much decorated in his final season.
Okay, so corner looks like that's basically the next best corner available outside of Will Johnson in Michigan. So if you're looking for corner for Green Bay, looks solid.
But Matt Golden is still there, so Pittsburgh better go get their quarterback and stop playing around.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It does feel kind of eerie to move off of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields in the same offseason. To be honest, I didn't foresee that coming. I thought maybe they move off of one, but I didn't think they'd move off of both guys.
Oh my.
All right, so now we'll get to the Steelers at 21. This is a spot that obviously we have had trouble for quite some time. Adam Schefter, what did you job? Brooklyn Motion spots in the draft. DeVore Sanders is still on the board right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers still are awaiting an answer from Aaron Rodgers. One person who leads Pittsburgh. They wondered how that combination, Aaron Rodgers and DeVore Sanders, could go along. The Steelers went that route, but there are no assurances that Pittsburgh is going to go that route at number 21, where they have other routes as well. This will be important if they make a decision. If they take Steelers, he has to do well. If they don't, then we have entered into a really intriguing part of the draft where DeVore Sanders and Jackson don't know a lot of injuries. But what we go on is that the Giants both really like Jackson Dart. So there's an irony in all of this now. Making a comparison to Aaron Rodgers and the way that he slid through the draft and now perhaps Rodgers playing some role in Pittsburgh's decision as they make this pick here at 21. But we're waiting to see if this is the spot. DeVore Sanders will finally hear his name. Still have no second round pick. That was the Seattle DK Metcalf. They're sitting here with that. We talked about Eric Arm, the defensive back on Oregon, putting him next to Cam Hayward. You're maybe great. You're bringing in maybe Derek Clark. How do you feel about Shedeur at 21? How did 5?
Oh my gosh. Longest pick ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just listening to Mel just tell everybody everything all at once.
That's true.
I'm told that the pick is in the commissioner is making his way to the stage. Will this be the moment that we hear the second quarterback's name, or will the drop continue? Here comes Roger Goodell with the announcement. With the 21st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Carter.
And the slide begins.
Wow.
Like I said, I did simple homework. There is legit concern about Shedeur Sanders. And I think, too, people are a little bit flabbergasted by the Travis Hunter Jacksonville pick. So there's probably a little bit of concern going on with these Colorado guys.
Uh-oh.
So that tells you right there that Shedeur is gonna he's gonna slide to the back of this draft if someone moves up to take him.
Yeah.
Getting a little longer. This is something that Pittsburgh doesn't have, which is interior pass first. You can live off even tackle as far as pass pressures from the inside. And you look at Keanu Benton, they took out of Wisconsin. He's playing well, but getting to the pass. This is an opportunity to fortify the defense in front. Again, pass to the quarterback, fortify the defense in front. But TJ Watt, I like what the Steelers are doing. He just wonders, without Aaron Rodgers, who's going to play the quarterback position for them? That's a great question.
So I have an interesting name that I think should exist for Pittsburgh. And I think he's definitely a Pennsylvania guy. He's definitely serviceable. I'm shocked that this guy is still out there in free agency because I think he's definitely a top 35 quarterback. Carson Wentz is. If I'm Pittsburgh, that's the guy I get.
Okay.
Like, how in the world Kansas City decided that Gardner Minshew is better than Carson Wentz? I'll never know.
Wow.
That's debate.
Yeah. That is debate. I thought you were gonna say like,
yeah.
I don't know, Taylor Heineke or something.
Pretty much, man. But yeah, like if Mahomes goes down, yeah, Tannehill, no, he's done, man. If Mahomes goes down, Minshew will start for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
like that.
That's true.
That's definitely not the way.
He played Minecraft on the McDonald's app.
How in the world he managed to get signed by another team as a backup, not to mention backup to a superstar quarterback? I don't get it.
Bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
What if a guy just started flipping refrigerators? Like, what the heck?
I mean, there is that other tight end on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I bet on him doing it. But then again, Derrick Henry is moving a couch with a bloodhound on it. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And you're talking about Darnell Washington, 6'7" out of Georgia.
Yes, we love Darnell Washington. The day will come where he will absolutely Jordan Mailata people with that run game that they have in Pittsburgh. But we don't know who besides Jaylen Warren. They'll need someone to complement Jaylen Warren. They have to. But this is right now a team without another running back and flat out without a quarterback. Very bizarre. I think too, I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly. Let me see what the big board shows. But if I were Pittsburgh, and hold up, let's go overall. I would have been looking at left tackle because they lost a left tackle to the Tennessee Titans. So you do have Josh Simmons out there. I don't know exactly if he's the left tackle, but
No, he just
I think I
didn't he
would.
just go?
Did he just get picked? No, it looks like Josh Simmons still out there.
Oh. Huh.
I think that's what they should have done. They absolutely should have gone left tackle and not some other defensive player. You know that they're just going to mix in with everyone else.
I saw his face on the big board.
Yeah. I just think that, and I don't know, ESPN's big board is different than Mel's big board, I've noticed.
Yeah. Wow, a 96% chance he was going to be drafted 21st. Wow.
There was a way that you could bet the 4% chance that he's not. Would you bet on it? Because I would. I would totally bet whatever those odds are. If it's like plus 2,500 odds, dang. I would definitely want to put at least $10 on that to win 250. Yeah, I'd be in on that. Shoot, you put down $40. There's 1,000. Just like that.
Looks like they're not too happy in that war room.
Which war room was it? I didn't catch it.
Chargers.
Chargers. I know they got Harbaugh, but man, I still got to see more to believe it. And I still think the best quarterback from Oregon does not play Chargers.
Oh my gosh, they took like the whole 10 minutes.
It's the Chargers, remember?
I know.
I do think that this is one of the poorest run franchises in the NFL over the last 30 years, by far.
I agree. Well, it literally took the entire time.
Yep.
looking at we're judging the landscape right here. We don't need to pay.
Oh my gosh, they're still talking about this. Yo, this is killing me. Oh,
So I'll put this out there. My friend at work, who's pretty sharp about football, he's in our fantasy league. I want to say he finished 3rd out of 24. He believes 0 out of he believes that 0 quarterbacks from this draft will pan out as legitimate starters.
wow, really?
Yeah. Yep. He firmly believes 0.
Oh,
That guy's good. That guy's real good. Him and the Ohio State running backs are like the 2 running backs that really stand out to me.
I mean, now he's over there with Najee Harris, though, who's still a young back, by the way.
Yep.
People do that. It's picking up yards and breaking tackles after that contact with a late drive, with determination and breakaway speed. He possesses very good hands as well. We're high, 38 receptions, 2 touchdown catches this year. If I'm going to look for this, although Jenkins has the ability there to make people miss the consistency. Pass blocking, we will first.
With that jump over that James Madison player, wow. I'll tell you what, that's a guy that I think for fantasy I could get way late. And is that a guy that I'm afraid of is really not going to see the field because he has Najee Harris in front of him? No way. I would firmly be able to ride this guy ahead of Najee Harris in real life and fantasy for sure.
Yeah. I'm so locked in. I'm like, dude, I just want this pick to happen.
So for you, are you leaning more towards wide receiver or corner?
Wide receiver. We really need a number 1 receiver.
All right. So if we go to the receiver big board on ESPN, who we got that's out there?
Matthew Golden.
Oh, here we go.
I want Matthew Golden.
All right, looking like you want Matthew Golden. Gotcha. So we got a 5'11", 191, 4'3", 40. Okay. So you want speed over size.
Yeah. Is there any size left on your big board?
All right, let's yes. Guy right below him, Jaden Higgins, 6'4", 214.
You said Jaden Dickens?
Jaden Higgins.
Yeah. See,
Like
this big board
Higgins?
has him at 11th. And
Well,
he's
this is just the wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm only looking at wide receivers. They have Trey Harris in front of him. Jalen Nolan from Iowa State's in front of him. Kyle Williams, Washington State.
So for me, I'm a science speed guy, but I can't deny the fact that Texas guys are pretty darn good. So I'd support pick for Matthew Golden for sure. I mean, I played with Xavier Worthy in fantasy last year. Wasn't too great for some weeks, but the weeks that were great, totally panned out.
Nice. Come on. Yeah, they really don't have anything. Come on. It's killing me. Of course, the Packers have to be one of those teams where it's like, well, let's just take 12 years.
Right.
When he got him, in order to kind of get him comfortable in his offense, and he wound up taking over the role that many people thought was going to be Isaiah Bond. And he said, look, this guy will do it exactly the way you asked him to do. The way the reason why he ran so fast, he said, I promise you, he worked that.
Yes. The pick just came in.
Okay. I think, too, with you picking a wide receiver, that spurs the other wide receivers on the team that, oh, my job's not safe. I have to ball out. Whereas the last 2 years, you definitely felt your job was safe, and there's like 5 of you. So odds are that you're going to make it. Now, Now it's like you gotta prove it to keep it.
Come on. Bruh.
Waiting to hear what they go. So the commissioner responding to our permission to make his way out. So the pick is ready. And here comes the commissioner with a very special guest who will be very well received. Very, very well.
Does Mark Murphy get booed? No, maybe not.
Nope. Come on.
And everywhere, because our fans are everywhere. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the Atlanta team. It is a privilege to host this wonderful event in our community, particularly since we are the only community-owned team in the NFL. Just out of curiosity, how many people are owners? We also are the best owners in the NFL. And we also want to celebrate the special connection we have with our fans that dates back to the early days of professional football. With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13th-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002.
Oh, here you go.
Yes. There we go.
That's how you do it, bro.
Look at that place explode.
That place went nuts. Good for you, man. And that guy is very sharply dressed.
Yeah.
Love it. That's a winner. Yeah, that's a winner, man. I think you guys got yourself Xavier Worthy 2.0.
But the worst part, I hope you can play
you're
outside.
You're gonna be cutting teams off with speed.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going all out on speed, man. I like it, but I would want one Devontae Adams-like receiver on the team.
Yes. And that's what we were looking for. And
That you need.
He's the what's the word I'm looking for? The next best thing. But if he can only play the slot and Jaden Reed can't move outside, then we're back to square one.
Yep. I would just say, I was thinking about this for my team because I enjoy going big on the size, and this is a guy that is a free agent. What if you guys would also be looking at Nick Westbrook-Ikhine?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say you can take him. I would have him just straight up duel it out with Romeo Doubs. One of those two guys has to be the true dominant outside big man threat. Because a lot of these corners, they got speed, but not all these corners got size. Or you're Jalen Ramsey and you have neither.
Right. Wow, he just took over the podium?
Yeah, he did. That's baller. That's cool. And it's stuff like that that you gotta have to get the momentum, to get people when the day comes to get free agents to come here. And to be honest, that culture, I feel that culture is changing since we've gotten into the Jordan Love era. You're seeing that culture change of more young and more optimism going through Green Bay, and that has to happen. Same thing too with our Milwaukee Bucks. Got to see it there too.
That's what you should expect from me, man. You know, I'm a reliable target, and you know I get over anywhere on the field, man. Whatever it is, you get hurt.
Boom. Who is playing outside?
And I was impressed with the consistency game out to know that he was understated. He was underappreciated all year for what he did for an offensive defense. And every time that he's a big catch, has people got open and made, let's say, 9 games, average over 20 yards a catch. It's pretty impressive. And I was impressed with his ability to separate. Separation from the defender, knowing that you can throw the football to him on time and accurate. And when you look at Green Bay, it's also said that Green Bay has a lot of receivers. They got a lot of number 2. I give you the number 1 that they covered. When you look at Romeo Dobbs, they can be critical about people on. So this is exactly how it is. But all right, so the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock, and they got Rockford in LA to make that Pittsburgh and actors. There was an equal opposite reaction. They will be
Now I'm not as locked in anymore. All right. Okay. Now like all the feels and all the goods are away now.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, for Minnesota, definitely secure the offensive line. You got a guy coming off a torn ACL at quarterback, and you want to make sure Aaron Jones can keep doing his stuff. So, yeah.
Look at that guy. He's like, who cares about this other guy?
That's true. That's true. Uh-oh. Giants are back.
Uh-oh.
That's something. And Joe Sheen is smiling. Yes. That's Shedeur Sanders, pal. 100%.
That's what it seems like.
I would and Brian Dable, yeah, I would. Not only that, we know in the post college football season, we know Shedeur was thrown with Malik Neighbors on a New York street.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Whoa. What if they go Jackson Dart? What if that's the thing?
Oh, it is Jackson Dart. Look at that, because you had no response from Deion Sanders, but now you're getting this response from Jackson's mother, it looks like, or agent or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's Jackson.
Whoa.
That's wild. Yeah, it will be Jackson.
Adam Schefter said it's a quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's dark. Off of that camera footage, and Dion looked like he was seeing a ghost. Yeah,
Yep.
It's Jackson.
And think about it. If you're in New York and Russell Wilson starts messing up, like Shedeur Sanders, they're gonna like flip out and be like, "Oh, he needs to be in. He needs to be in now." Jackson Dart, you can kind of be like, "Hey, he's gonna learn a lot more. We think he has more upside. He can learn behind a Super Bowl winning quarterback." Blah blah blah. And the Giants aren't trying to win right now.
Right.
It's an easier sell.
Yeah.
There's some drama going on.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, that was a look that Dion basically showed that the gig might be up, and I'm basically just trying to get these guys to sucker in as much money as they can. If Shedeur does not get first round money, the money he gets significantly drops after the first round.
Oof.
Welcome to the show, the one with unimaginable power and endless entertainment. Phillies, Cubs, big-time talent shine through a friendly night on Sunday Night Baseball, Sunday at 7 on ESPN.
Oh, I just lost my.
Interesting thing too, right behind the Giants is the Rams, and I know the Rams would be in a real nice spot to trade out. But think about it too, the Rams are definitely in the near future going to have to take a quarterback. There is not too much time left with Bradford. But I think a lot of these teams too know that if you bring in Shedeur Sanders, that drama, that Dion factor, he's going to want his kid to start now. So is the patience there? Not necessarily.
Oh, boy.
Wait, did I just see like half the crowd go home after the Packers pick?
Probably.
I swear I saw that. I swear I saw the crowd, and the crowd was just like half gone.
Hey, remember, this is Green Bay, so like they probably don't care anymore.
Nope. They wanted to boo the Vikings and get out of Dodge.
Yep.
Called it.
I knew it. Yeah. So you know what's funny
No,
about that
I
though?
did see. Yeah. What you got?
So I'm following it. I'm following the board on Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report already had that pick in.
When did they have the pick in?
Like a couple minutes ago. That's what I
Yeah.
was sitting here reading.
I mean, I could tell it from before they went to commercial.
Yep.
Yeah, it was obvious when you
His
saw
mom
the
was like
look on
hugging
Deion
him.
Sanders. I'm guessing a woman in. There's two different women there. I believe one of them is his mother and one of them is his agent. Is my guess.
Yep.
So to me, it was a look that woman, the agent, basically told him that you're the next
Ooh.
pick.
LA traded this next pick with Atlanta, and the pick's already in.
Yep.
Fast.
So that's the belief that we know that the Rams wanted to trade out.
Yep.
Now I'll tell you what, like some of this Jackson Dart footage I've seen,
It's
just
been
a guy
really
playing
nice.
it in the SEC, it's pretty solid, man.
Yeah. On a team that's not like super big time.
Loaded. He's not LSU, he's not Alabama. You're kind of playing uphill if you're not one of those schools or Georgia and you're SEC. So to play to play uphill, I give him credit, man.
Ooh, that's something. That is something. So we got Baltimore, Detroit, Washington, Buffalo, Kansas City, and Philly. Who trades out?
I would say Baltimore, Detroit, and Kansas City and Philly, right?
And Buffalo.
And Buffalo. At this point, I would say I would say maybe Buffalo. That's a pretty complete team. And a team that is going to win their division outright. Just no competition in that division.
And you know what's crazy? If Cleveland would have kept the second pick and got Travis Hunter, they have the number 1 pick in the second round. They could have got Hunter and Shedeur.
Yep. Absolutely. Huh.
I don't think I'm familiar with that name.
Ooh, Rams made out.
Whoa, what the?
Rams really made out. Rams and Cleveland made out.
Oh, man. And the Falcons could be bad again.
Well, I'll tell you this. Right now, I feel like the Falcons and the Panthers are probably the two best teams in that division. I mean, we still got more of the draft to play with, but if I could bet on anyone, or wait a minute, Tampa Bay also drafted that big Ohio State wide receiver, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem, man. You got that guy. You will enter the season with Godwin, Mike Evans, and Bucky Irving. Yeah, you gotta beat them to be it. So at this point, man, it's still Tampa Bay.
For number 2. Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic here. There's Baltimore.
Also, James
my gosh.
Pierce, total defensive doppelganger of Michael Penix, 100%. I swear the guy is a clone of
Really?
Michael Penix. Oh yeah.
Man, if you know what's crazy, Baltimore picks Will Johnson. I feel like a top defensive player always falls to them.
Yes. Yeah, they definitely have that figured out. Yeah, Will Johnson is still out there. Corner is definitely something that they could improve on. I think that'll definitely dominate. That'd be a great pick for them.
What the heck am I seeing?
I have no idea. Yeah, that was a little weird. That was a little weird.
Is that Star Trek and SpongeBob?
Yeah, a little weird. A little too much Paramount going on there. I mean, I'm just saying that there comes a point where you're trying to blend too much stuff together, and it gets really confusing for the viewer like this.
Yeah, I'm definitely confused.
That's the bait.
Especially, whoa, Memphis is beating OK City by 26.
I mean, I'll be honest. I am somewhat perplexed as to how Oklahoma City is so good when really I can only name that Holmgren and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name, but it's so
SGA.
long. SGA, like they're really the only two superstars on that team. The other guys are literally just young guys. Okay, yeah, I don't know who that is.
He was an all-star.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Isaiah Hartenstein was a big on New York.
Oh yeah, Hartenstein's solid. Yeah.
Alex Caruso.
Yeah, Alex Caruso from Chicago. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those guys are legit.
That's six guys, you know.
Yeah,
they've got a good, and I mean Lou Dort. I like Lou Dort. He's a great defender, but yeah. The Clippers are up 18 on Denver.
That's wild.
Yeah. James Harden already got 17 in the second quarter.
Wow. Holy smokes. I'm pretty sure I saw a guy with, instead of a cheese head, a muskie head.
Nice.
The 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks.
He was the other guy I was thinking. It was either Starks or the corner out of Michigan.
Yeah. I'm really shocked that Will Johnson is still out there, man.
No. On the big board I'm looking at, these both were top 5 guys. And they've fallen all the way to Baltimore.
Wow. Yeah, Will Johnson, like, man. Here we go. We got Washington coming up. They could definitely take a guy like that. I don't know what Detroit's defensive situation is exactly, but I mean, then again, we know Jaden Daniels torched him in the playoffs, so. But I'm telling you, man, the team to take a massive regression next year, Detroit.
Ooh. I agree. Look at that.
I mean, their de facto head coach is gone. Actually, both are.
True. Dude, Starks as a safety is playing in the nickel.
Wow, that's wild, man.
And again, he's a Georgia guy.
I mean, that's Micah Hyde stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is like a perfect Baltimore pick.
Yep. Totally.
Like he's walking with like anger and purpose.
That's exactly what Baltimore is. That is Baltimore. Yep. That's a team too that, to me, by far de facto division winner. Like no competition whatsoever. I think guarantee Buffalo and Baltimore 100% win their divisions.
Yeah.
Now, I've been kind of thinking about this too. I mean, people don't really want to talk about it, but if you really wouldn't have given the MVP to Josh Allen, to be honest, the real MVP probably should have gone to Saquon Barkley. But if you don't do that, then I think the MVP after that has to be Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah. You remember I was
going into next season, to me, Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I think Lamar Jackson has to be – I think Lamar Jackson has to be, gosh, like at worst, the number 3 quarterback going into next season. Regardless of what you think, the fact that he does what he does with Derrick Henry is just unstoppable.
Yeah. And Remember, I was beating that drum all year. I'm like, Josh Allen's stats aren't even in the same area code as Lamar Jackson.
No,
So it wasn't a stats thing. It wasn't making your team better. It
No.
wasn't going far in the play. Like, it was literally the exact same thing. And then, yeah, they ended up losing.
I mean,
But it wasn't Josh Allen.
right. And the thing is, too, I mean, I think this puts a lot of stress on Josh Allen going into next season, where, to be honest, I'd take half of the quarterbacks in the NFC East ahead of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that my NFC East guys can get it done. They're going to put up big numbers. There's not as much pressure on either Jalen Hurts or Jaden Daniels. They're just going to grow. And when you put that much pressure on you, like Josh Allen's going to get, well, you're going to break.
Yep. Man, now Will Johnson going to Detroit would be upsetting.
Right.
He's a Michigan guy. Like, oh man.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, I think 100% he gets picked either by Detroit or Washington. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think when you take a team and you rip the offensive coordinator, especially, and then the defensive coordinator away from that team, like we saw from Philly 2 years ago, your team takes a massive step back.
Whoa, did you hear that? You gotta be kidding me. Like,
You guys
that
are
was loud.
crazy. Yeah.
That was loud.
Good job for whoever had that guy mic'd up.
Ooh.
Overall rank is like 60 on ESPN.
Oh man. I got him at 43.
I don't know. That was a highlight they showed against Tulsa.
Yeah, he was the fifth
And
best.
this is against some team that wears red and white. That was a highlight against Rutgers.
Oh my gosh.
I'll
He
be
was
honest,
the
I saw a
fifth
bunch of
best defensive
highlights.
lineman.
Maybe. Just saying, man.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of highlights. I didn't see anything.
No.
I think that's a massive miss.
Yep.
Oh, 3% chance Sanders is
A Detroit Lion.
man,
at
I don't know
28.
where they're getting those odds from.
Right.
But all I see is disappointment.
Yep.
Yeah, he ain't getting picked today, bud.
Unless
Unless it's the Buffalo pick that gets traded out.
so Cleveland's got the first pick tomorrow. Vegas has got the fifth
But
pick.
here's
And New Orleans has the eighth pick tomorrow.
okay. We are still at 6, by the way. Right? I mean, what's to say that we don't take Shedeur Sanders?
I think it's a good idea.
Yep. But
Yeah, Pittsburgh traded its second round pick, so
they're gone.
they don't have a pick tomorrow.
Yep.
Wait, actually, third round. Oh, wow. Actually, like I said, Pittsburgh does not have a pick tomorrow. Second or third round.
Okay. So yeah, looking. Oh wow, that's massive. Yeah, they dug themselves a hole.
Yep.
Yikes.
And that's probably from the
Yikes.
DK Metcalf trade.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got two diva wide receivers there, bud. Big time divas. So there's four teams left today. Washington and Kansas City both have needs. Buffalo and Philly, those two teams could trade out. But there's no way Washington or Kansas City trade out. They both have to make their picks.
Oh, boy.
And I'll be honest, man. Like, I really thought that this wave of free agency that we went through in March, I thought that was probably one of the worst free agencies probably we've ever seen.
Yeah, it was
by far. Like not a single move really moved the needle for any team. I mean, to be honest, the best moves that I can think of are some defensive moves made by Denver and an offensive lineman put on Chicago and taken away from Kansas City. That's it. Like, that's it. Like, none of the other moves really do anything.
Yeah, that was a head scratcher.
Yeah.
Wow. And I can't believe they got Deebo Samuel.
That's pretty solid. Laramie Tunsil, that's a solid pickup.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, Washington, man, they're gonna be a force next season.
They got good receivers. They got good running backs. Zach Ertz is a little old, but I'm sure they'll be fine. They added to the line with Tunsil.
Zach Ertz is going to be the Joe Flacco of tight ends. Nice.
Everybody's like, what?
Hey, investing in an offensive line for a young quarterback is always the right call. Always. Just ask holy smokes, blanking on his name. Quarterback of the Bengals, Joe Burrow. Yeah. Considering that the Hall of Fame Panay School, who ironically is also from Oregon, is not on your football team. And you should have picked him.
Interesting. I'm trying to find him on the board.
Like I said, man, drafting offensive linemen in the first round, not a bad idea.
Okay, he actually was only the third best tackle in the draft. So But they did just put
Good.
all that trade assets into Tunsil. So, I mean, he's a backup no matter what, unless they move him somewhere.
Well, if you're talking the guy you just drafted in round 1 as a backup, wow, that tells me fantasy, get a bunch of Washington Commanders because that offense is loaded.
Yeah.
If that's the case, nothing wrong in making sure
I
your
mean-
offensive line is like legit. Like look at what just happened in the NFL. The best offensive line just won the Super Bowl. You had that this past season. Like Kansas City had a pretty good offensive line 2 years ago. Kansas City didn't have that great of an offensive line, but still made the Super Bowl. Detroit has been regarded as one of the
Patrick
best
Mahomes
offensive
got
lines.
punished.
They go deep. Yep. So, yeah, like get some offensive linemen if you're Washington. Totally the right call. But they need help on defense, though, too. But this is the territory where Lamar Jackson got drafted. I mean, it is very tempting for a team to want to trade up here because you get a little more time to play with for giving a long-term contract to a rookie quarterback. I mean, do you exercise the fifth-year option? Maybe, but gives you that flexibility.
Yeah. Yeah. You just heard him say he's a top 10, player. And it's like, I don't know how Will Johnson's fallen this far.
Neither do the Buffalo Bills, who look like they've clearly already made their pick.
Right. There it is.
What do you know? The
Right,
pick
hey
is
guys,
in.
I just had to go make the call real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, the pick was in long before that graphic went across the screen.
Now they could go for Mike Green and get a defensive, like a edge rusher.
Okay. I've always thought Buffalo is kind of the Green Bay of the out east. I mean, shoot, if I grew up in New York, that is by far the team I would be a fan. I would never even consider being a fan of the Giants. Screw that. Root for the team that's actually in New York. Plus, fun fact, Green Bay Packers have never won a game in Buffalo.
Whew.
That's no debate.
Solid.
Greater impact as a wish maker make a wish. For the second time tonight, we have the opportunity to grant a wish for a deserving young man to announce the first pick for his favorite team. Tommy. Tommy is a 16-year-old living with a neuromuscular disorder. Is a huge Buffalo Bills fan and is here with me to make the announcement for his beloved Bills.
Nice.
With the 30th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Maxwell Harrison. Let's go!
Wow.
Corner.
And not Will Johnson.
That's very interesting. Oh, this is the fastest 40-yard dash guy. Supposedly a 4.28. Supposedly.
Which is crazy because I heard what's the old boy's name? Matthew Golden ran a 4.29.
Okay.
This is the guy. That dude is standing in front of the door, handshaking everybody. So it's him.
Oh, the Bills fan that just made the pick?
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Kansas City traded with Philly. Kansas City has 2 first-round picks in a row.
Oh.
Oh, no.
So,
They flipped.
yeah, they flipped.
What? Why?
I don't know. So interesting thing here that I'm seeing on Johnson missed 7 games last season with turf toe and missed his pro day with a pulled hamstring. Eey. That's a little cause. That's some debate.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a little
what
bit.
you're telling me
cause
is
for concern.
Philly just traded up to get Will Johnson.
They traded up to just get Will Johnson. I believe that's the case.
Because think about it. If he was hurt and everyone backed away from him because he was hurt, Philly's like, hey, you could just sit on our bench for a year or come in whenever you're healthy.
Classic Philly. Classic Philly, us against the world. That would be a great pick by Philly. But the thing is, like, you already
did
know
that with
like,
Javon Carter last year.
Yep. Like, you do know that with I don't know if they were really that concerned with well, yeah, I mean, Kansas City's secondary is a little suspect, but so is their offensive line, and it is pretty interesting. I think if you're Philly, you notice that a bunch of offensive linemen already got picked. So let's play that DB position, and let's see if we can get that corner. So, yeah, I mean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, pretty solid, but doesn't hurt to have more good corners. I mean, it's a team that already almost checks off every box.
Gardner-Johnson, I don't think is there anymore.
Am I mixing up the name of the guy? Like, what's the name of the guy drafted from Toledo?
Gardner-Johnson was from Florida. He plays in Texas now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, Quinton Mitchell.
Quinion Mitchell. Yes. Yeah, he's excellent. Ooh, pretty jacket.
Right.
The Eagles have moved up to 31, trading up with Kansas City. We'll look at the details on the trade in just a moment. The Super Bowl champs are on the clock.
What?
Yeah, I just saw it scroll across the draft tracker bar. Gotta admit that Tyler Warren tight end pick by Indianapolis is pretty beastie. That's a very solid pick, man.
Yeah. I'm this whole trade that just happened just is mind blowing to me.
Okay. I mean, to me, I think it's pretty cool. I don't think it's to me, it kind of
Like
reminds
sometimes
me
you
of. I mean, it's not the same scenario, but I remember a few years back when Philly pulled off a cute little trade to jump ahead of Dallas to get, ironically, Dallas Goddard. Yep.
One of those things where you just kind of go, some of these trades have been really bad for one side today.
They've been very bad for one. They've been, to me, these trades have been very bad for the team trying to jump up to make the pick.
Yeah.
The teams moving backwards are benefiting heavily from those kind of picks. Now, is it going to be too instrumental from this Eagles Chiefs swap? I don't think so. So why the Eagles jumped up to 31? Perhaps maybe because they want to make sure that maybe someone trying to jump in from the second round doesn't jump into that spot for whatever reason.
Yep. That makes sense. Because Kansas City probably put out feelers like, hey, we're trying to get rid of this pick.
Yep. Because they're a team that, to be honest, is going to need some work, man. Like when you got serious concerns in your secondary and your offensive line and your running backs, and the league is figuring out Patrick Mahomes, that's not a good it's not a good playbook, bud.
Trying to see the Eagles. And the Eagles don't pick again until the end of the first round. Or end of second round, I'm sorry. So
Okay.
I'm a little puzzled by this.
I tell you what, I'm kind of shocked that Kansas City didn't get aggressive and try to trade way up to get one of those tight ends.
Same.
I mean, looking at this now, knowing what we know, that would have been an excellent decision for them to make that move. Because like these tight ends from Penn State and Michigan, yeah, these are George Kittle world beaters, man. These guys are real.
Right. I mean, Mason Taylor is not bad out of LSU either.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about him earlier. Yeah, he's that's Jason Taylor's son, and Joy Taylor's nephew.
Oh,
Yeah.
they gave him an extra 5th round pick for one spot.
Okay, so pretty much nothing.
Wow. Man, there must be something wrong with Johnson.
Yeah, I mean you're talking. It has to be medical. It has to be.
That is. I mean, he was a top 20 projected pick. So that's still a steal. Oh, did you freeze?
Oh, man, Trevion Henderson is a monster of a running back. That guy's going to be a deal for whoever gets him.
What was his name?
Trevion Henderson. I'll be honest. I think him or that North Carolina running back. I think those are one of the two best running backs, and then Genty comes somewhere after that. We'll see how things pan out, but that Trevion Henderson, man, I've seen some tape on that guy. That guy is scary.
So he's a next year guy? Oh no, I see it.
No,
They don't put his last name in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
First round pick that he took over in December of 2015, and he is standing by now. And when I say he's John Campbell is standing by with Molly. Go on in business. Say what's down on the stage, Molly.
The defending Super Bowl champs. He's traded up.
Why are they stretching this out? Come on, people.
Yeah.
110%. Everything I'm not going to do. You know, the richer this guy is.
You told me that this news felt like an out-of-body experience. What is it like standing up here as the newest member of the Philadelphia Eagles?
That's the nation. I mean, what can I say? There we go.
You know, we know Molly here he is. That's a great moment. Again, a young man who's starting by not to wait until tomorrow night. And here's his name called again. Trade with Kansas City. Sheffield. Well, the Eagles tried trading up earlier in the draft to go get Jahad Campbell, and the trade fell through, but they were able to persevere and trade up one spot. A lot of people might ask, why would you trade up one spot? Well, I think it's to block another team from potentially coming up, especially when it costs you a fifth-round draft.
And Schefter's saying the exact thing I just said. That move was to prevent a block from behind, deeper behind in the draft. I don't like hearing that though. That you just drafted a guy who's going to need 2 surgeries moving forward.
Right. Right.
And that is exactly why our corner from Michigan is falling in the draft. It's exactly why.
But it's kind of what we thought with the Eagles, though, is they went for high potential and they can sit the guy.
Yes. Kind of like how we saw in the WNBA draft last year, how when the Las Vegas Aces selected that big center out of Virginia Tech. Exact same reason. Yep.
Do they go Josh Simmons, tackle out of Ohio State?
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Oh, he just said his name. Huh. Well, I guess I can put all the big boards away now.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, right on cue. Well, sir, any closing thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm very well pleased with this draft. I mean, I know it was something that we initially talked about going to, and I mean, I got some things outside of here work wise that kind of screwed some things up a little bit, but glad that I could still be up north for a little vacation to enjoy this. I think Green Bay is doing a pretty good job with the draft. I mean, who cares about the attendance, that experience, and the way they're putting it on, and the way it looks. It looks very good quality. I expect that the draft will return to Green Bay. It will absolutely return to Green Bay sooner than later. So I mean, and that's the thing is like this was a real test. This was a real test to the NFL that could we pull this off in a small market? And knowing that you're going to get small attendance, but is the quality going to be there? And is it something that people would want to come back to the next time it shows up? And from what I've seen on the first night, I would definitely say that answer is yes. Kind of similar to like how it was when Chicago was the first outdoor experiment. I went there for that Chicago draft. Same thing, that experiment, you felt it. And it was a real cool experience. So I think this experience they got up in Green Bay is definitely going to work. But it looks like we gotta take our own halftime and get ready to wrap things up. And yeah, I mean, sure, if you're up for doing it tomorrow, man, I'm up for it.
At the pack. I will probably be traveling still. I'm not really sure where I'll be.
Okay, well, if you can make it, we'll make it happen.
Back home.
No worries.
I'm in.
Cool. All right, sounds good, man. Well, you take it easy.
I don't know.
And we'll see if we have a show next week, or Sunday or something. Sunday next week, something like that. But we'll make it happen.
I don't know. We're somewhere.
Exactly. All right, man.
Until next time,
so I'm Steve Metrics. That's your boy, DJ Triggs. And that's No Debate. Yeah.
Boom.
All right, man. Cool.